All right, just a second here. It's not. It's that live. I think it's live. Okay, I think we're live. Okay. Yep, okay, we're definitely live. So, everybody, it's Buster and myself, and we wanted to jump on real quick because I just found out that my our YouTube, because we're really a team here, our recent our recent video where we had the interview with a doctor of internal medicine about the Mandela Effect. It's in the description, or it's the video before this. It was doing really well. It was monetized. It was just recently demonetized, the video. And again, it's not about the money. It's not. And I use monetization as kind of my bulkhead for the most part to see where I'm at in terms of YouTube triggers and all of those other things. So, Buster, I first reacted emotionally. I've calmed down a little bit now because it's barely been 48 hours since this happened. And I like what you said. Um, you wrote here. Do you mind if I read what you wrote here? Because
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
yeah, it said here. When I was, and this is Buster talking to me in a private DM, and I got his permission. I will never read your private DMs, anyone else, if you ever DM me. But you heard Buster and I are cool about this. When I was first ME'd, or I scoured YouTube and I tried to find any video where there was a doctor or any other person of authority to back up the claim of ME. I couldn't find any. You had a doctor of medicine openly admitting to the Mandela effect and anatomical changes. It's unprecedented. I think in time the video will get quite high. So the point is, I think we broke a major barrier in the last 48 hours on this channel, and it's to the credit of this team, and it's to the credit of everyone that had to do with, whether it's Chicken, myself, whether it's Buster, the research wing, the talk wing, all of it. Everyone had a hand in this, and the chat and everyone. One of the reasons that I will, I try to stay modest, but I will credit myself. I will credit everyone in the chat, and I will credit this community is that we attract the best, we attract the smartest people. Buster told me one of the reasons why he was attracted to this channel was because we're trying to create a constructive environment to where we try to find out what this is all about. And it's almost exactly what the doctor had told me why he chose this particular channel to go public with. So, Buster, what are your thoughts just immediately about this? Is mostly for the community. This is not for new subs. So this is for you guys and for me really to process this. What are you thinking?
Well, like I said to you, I can understand why YouTube did this. I don't agree with what they did, and like you said, it's not about the money. It's just about getting the information to where it needs to go, and I think that's really important because not everybody's going to be able to find what they need when they need it. Like I said to you, like when I was first Mandela affected, I was really looking for any kind of person in authority to just back up what I was trying to explain from my memories.
Mhm.
And having something like this, what you did with the doctor the other day, I think it's going to prove to be really important for those people who need to find that kind of, second opinion, a professional opinion. It's really very important.
And that's just the thing. Anybody who had anxiety, anybody who thought they were going crazy, anything like that, this is one of those things that really helps you. I think it's a help to people to go. There are people who are in that kind of position, an elevated position in society, and they're seeing it. And if other people aren't coming out right now, it's only out of fear, or and just all of those societal restraints that we put on people, particularly professionals. And I like the one point the doctor put. He says they don't want a disruption in their income stream, and so often that's the very thing that's threatened, and it's the main thing that keeps people quiet, because I think a lot of people, particularly like the doctors and people who you can't bully them in terms of in the world of the intellectual realm. They've conquered that. He's a medical doctor that went to an Ivy League school, and I know his education, and I got to tell you, it is the best. So you are not going to beat him in that arena. The only way you're going to beat a voice like that, the only way, is to disrupt his income stream. And since that has been extinguished, there is no stopping people like this. And it brought up a great point that I'm going I would like that population. If you are an intellectual giant of some sort, or you have the right letters behind your name, and somehow you've been pushed out of the arena, the intellectual arena, whether it's the university system, the medical system, whatever, and you're seeing the Mandela effect, I will be your area of refuge. Please come and talk to me, and I will keep my promise to keep your anonymity if that's what you so desire. And I think, Buster, you hit it, and that's why I wanted us to talk about this, because that's exactly it. It's even bigger than I imagined, and I also wanted to get this out for everybody in case this channel is actually pulled, because we do now have a level of authority now. First, we had it with logic, and then we built it on the CIA documents and the FOIA documents and the archival documents, and now we're building it to where we have people who are coming on that have real world, they have this real world accreditation, and they may have taken it away from him in terms of his board certification, but we all know he went through the paces and he went through the ringer and he became a doctor and he went through an Ivy League school to become this. So that's the way I look at it. No matter what, you can't put that genie back in the bottle.
Right, agreed. And another thing too is that I think for people who have been in the Mandela effect for a while and are quite deep down the rabbit hole, we can kind of forget a little bit what it's like during the first stages. It's
Hmm.
very traumatic. You're really questioning your own memories. You're really questioning even your own sanity at some points.
Hmm.
And for people who've been in it for some time, we kind of almost don't want to remember that part because it's a little bit traumatic. So I think for the people who might be on the fence about the Mandela effect or might just be discovering it for the first time, having somebody like a doctor talk about these things openly is, like I said, it's very, very important.
Yeah, this is totally a tonic. It's a tonic for those people that are chronically nervous or worried about something like this. That no, we're at least going through this together. We're doing it together, and it goes back to it's the Ed McMahon thing. We all would have had to think about this in exactly the same way and not communicate about it for almost 30 years. Then suddenly it all arises at one time. And that just shows you how pervasive and how powerful the Mandela effect is, above and beyond everything else. Because, like I said, this community is very, very special because we're the only ones where to solve this, I think you have to look inwards. When people are FE or they're UFO or there's something like that, you have to prove something in the outward world. And the more and more that we look, and especially this YouTube, the Twitter stream, the tearing, I've been on a tear lately with the material that people have been sending me, that Buster's been sending me, that we've been finding together, that I've been finding on my own. It's all pointing back to that gateway document about it being consciousness. Whether it's what Buster you just sent me, and we'll talk about on Saturday, or that Max Spears interview that I have on Twitter, it's within 5 minutes, and he's absolutely parroting what you sent, which is parroting what the gateway process has sent. We have hit a core nerve, and I think we are absolutely on the main line to exactly what this is all about. So, and another thing, I'm just seeing inside the live chat right now, and Jeremy Crow, he just got a new sub from someone here, from Rich, and it's cool. People are meeting up. We're doing exactly what I wanted. We're developing a community here, and people of different stripes and different backgrounds and different points of view, we're all coming together for a common cause about this thing. So even if I'm thrown off this platform, we will coalesce somewhere else and somehow else. And this is only put, a fire under my feet to absolutely look for an alternative platform in case they do yank me. And this is just a shame, is really what it is, I think, Buster. It's just a shame.
It's disappointing, it's I really don't know how else to put it. It's plain, it's disappointing. What's not disappointing is the way that this community has come together. I find that absolutely fantastic. And like what you were saying with the research lately, yeah, it's what I've been finding is that it's all kind of coming together. It's all corroborating. All kind of the dots are connecting a little bit closer and closer, which is very nice.
And I think it's because of the seed is our consciousness, and we are harmonizing with just one another, and we're harmonizing, and we're becoming a force. We're becoming sort of a band, so to
Well, what I
speak.
think could be happening is that, like we keep talking about this idea of patterning.
Mhm.
And the more that we come together and harmonize, more that we use our energy together, we could be doing a form of patterning together.
Oh, totally. I think that's absolutely right. I think you're totally on it. And I think even viewers that are, whether it's diehards that we see here every week, or it's just people that are kind of casually coming in here, they've become part of this patterning process. And I think what we're doing is exactly what they described in the Gateway FOIA document. It's exactly that. We are absolutely patterning. And let me read this, guys. What it says here is that um, our thoughts have the power to influence the development of reality, time, space as it applies to us. If those thoughts can be projected with adequate intensity, and we have been harping and harmonizing, all of us in this live chat, especially the regulars, on this exact subject over and over again. And because our music is so good, our harmony is so good, we were able to attract the likes of a Ivy League board certified internal medicine doctor who was able to corroborate that yes, the kidneys have moved up. And what added credence to it is some of the MEs that he didn't believe in, like the heart. That that just showed me that he was like, I don't think so. That actually heartened me. I was like, okay, that's fine. But the other ones is what I was, heartened by.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives it more validity, that he's not just completely coming on and agreeing with everything that we're saying. And he even brought some Mandela effects that I think most people weren't aware of as well.
Oh, absolutely. He brought totally on his own. And he was very curious about the individual ones that I'm having. And he is having individual ones. And that's also too what brings people into this is the individual ones that we're all having. So if you're new to the channel, please, it's in the description or it's the video before this one. If they happen to, because I hear that videos just poof, they go missing. Grab it, listen to it, do whatever with the interview. Please do, because it's a powerful interview, and I think it's a watershed moment for the entirety of the Mandela Effect community, because we could potentially we could break the dam here and get I what I want. I would love to hear lawyers. I would love to hear mechanics of all stripes, engineers of all stripes, and naturally any other kinds of doctors of all stripes. Particularly, I would love to hear lawyers and naturally historians. Anyone that wants to be anonymous, please let this be the place you come to, because this is not something that's in our heads. This is a phenomena, and this is real, and we are patterning at this point. I do
Yeah,
believe
and
that, Buster.
hopefully we've got the ball rolling here, and hopefully that gives us momentum to keep this thing going.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to add more, go, please do. I just felt like it was just really quick. I wanted to come on. I'm a little bit emotional, but I toned it down before we got on, and I just felt like it was very important for everybody to know what's happening in case something does happen with the channel or that video or whatever. That it's actually in a lot of ways you can say that it's almost yet another affirmation of what we're doing is we're on the right track. Just the resistance we're getting, being over the target, as they
Yeah,
say.
well, I think it's just important to once again thank the doctor for that awesome interview. And like you said, if there's anyone else and who's got any kind of specialty or has a certain profession that they feel they've stumbled across a Mandela effect, absolutely feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, please. Absolutely. And everybody else, distribute the video, and let people know that there was a doctor on here and we talked about it. So that's it for us on SMQ AI. We'll be back on Saturday. And that's about it. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.